Hello again, traders. Right, once again, I am waiting for a coffee to cool down before I go out, so I thought I would use the time productively and do something literally off the cuff. I literally thought, what can I make a video about now? I haven't done for a long while. What do I need to do for myself? And that is something I don't do that often, and is look at the weekly and monthly charts. Basically, not often enough. The weekend is the new Monday. Tomorrow will be the new daily candle. Not sure whether the American markets are open, but if they are, then the FX markets will be open. I should think they will be anyway, because it's not a bank holiday all over the world, I don't think. So anyway, regardless, I'll check with that later. But if it was a normal Monday, then and the fact that it's the end of the month, it's quite an interesting time. Looking at the monthly on this Aussie CAD, not a pair I normally trade, but it gives a good example of what we should be looking at. And basically, we can clearly see this is a strong move down into buyers. You know, it's basically an uptrend which is testing the buyers. And something I don't mention enough, but you know, when you're testing to see whether the buyers are there, stands to reason you probably get some sort of a bounce. Strong buying. They went straight through these sellers like a knife through butter. So, you know, there's every reason, in my opinion, that we should look at this, basically. What else have we got here? Well, we've got a three-candle reversal. Well, that was an engulfing three-candle reversal through that red candle there. An engulfing candle there. Big wick there. So all of these are strong selling candles, a hammer or a shooting star, whatever you want to call that, an inverted hammer, um, and then we smacked into this with very little wick at the bottom, which suggests there's not been much of a battle at that point. In other words, the buyers haven't come into the market. Under normal circumstances, that would be a warning, but at this point, with a monthly close and whatnot, it potentially is just the whales, as it were, the big institutions just playing games, loading up potentially with, in my opinion, with discounted buy orders, you know, to take it long. But it's not something I do all the time. So, as always, what you need to do then is just observe your lower time frame. So, on the weekly, what we would want to see is a three candle reversal up or an attack of that level. I didn't intend to go into huge detail with one chart, but seeing as I'm doing it now, I might as well carry on. So that would be the three candle reversal level. Sorry, this shouldn't have landed there. I don't know what's going on there. Let's get rid of that again. Flip that to there. That's the three candle reversal level. And then just go down the time frames to monitor what new levels you've got. Three candle reversal level would be the high of that red on the daily chart there. And then H4 would be the high of that red there on the H4 chart. And then H1 and so on and so forth. H1 is actually 3 CR'd up, which is Aaron's fantastic indicator there has shown us. It's 3 CR'd up. It's failed to 3 CR down by the looks of it, so it's trying to test it. That's what that dotted line is there, trying to reverse back down. It's failed, so there's every chance that this may start to move up to the long side, and we'd expect to be able to draw this sort of situation going on, and then you can see you've got your intermediate targets, as it were, and breaks and closes and trends up. So that's more of a detailed look at a CAD than I intended. So let's go and have a look at a few other charts on the monthly. So random chart, EJ. And this is another reason I wanted to look at these. I just opened a random chart and I noticed they're all at sort of strong levels of resistance too. So, you know, this might pop up and then just absolutely collapse. So, you know, you've got your ascending trend line situation there on a monthly, remember, so this could go on for 6 or 8 months or whatever before it even breaks this. So, but the lower time frames always lead the way. So once again, we could draw a 3CR on the weekly. And again, it's worth noting that the weekly candle is huge with very little wick. So, suggestion is for me that may still pop up a bit and then just collapse. But, we're overbought on the RSI as well. So, just follow the normal rules, but be aware of what's going on the highest of high time frames to sort of make a trade plan, as it were. So without going into that one too much detail, but the fact that it's at a resistance looks interesting to me. Let's move just across left to right, or right to left, should I say. Monthly chart, well, it's at a monthly area of supply and demand there. So worth noting that it could be testing to see whether the sellers rather, are likely to come back in this downtrend. High, low, lower, high, lower, low. That's the pullback. This could be a collapse. So, I'm not suggesting by any means you've got trades here, but what I'm suggesting is a method of planning, making a plan for your trades. So let's have a look at more standard currency pairs. Yeah, well, this one actually, on a monthly basis, this looks like it could continue down, to be honest with you. What have we got going on? Yeah, see, the reason I say that is because you've literally got no resistance level below you. Let's have a look at try and explain what I mean. Let's suppose we were looking at this candle here. You can clearly see all of these levels here are resistance. So they're below us. But when you're here, you've got nothing. You draw a line on the high of that, or the high of that, or the high of that, and you can see it's closed through them all. So that's what I mean by no resistance below price. And here you can see you can't draw a line on a candle high, which suggests to me this is potentially bearish. And then if you look at the indicators, it agrees with that sort of assumption. And we've got this lovely area of demand here too, and that's a huge range, goes without saying. And EG is a great pair for ranging, not that I trade it, I hate it, but it tends to stay in a reasonable range. One day the pound's on top and another day the euro's winning, and so on and so forth. That's the nature of pound euro, to be honest with you. It is a pretty benign pair. So let's have a look at another one. UJ monthly, we're at a big level of resistance here, and we've got this sort of range down here. So not a lot of interest there, to interest me anyway. It's in no man's land. Looks to me, just by looking at that, once again, same scenario. There isn't a resistance, a support level above us to cause us a problem. So this does look like it might potentially continue long. Not a particularly big candle either for the monthly. So, we can look at the weekly and see what we think. Weekly is, let's have a look. Haven't got Aaron's indicator on the weekly. That's a 3-candle reversal to the long side. So we're looking at dollar yen. So this does look like dollar has still got some room to the upside. Potentially after a little bit of sideways accumulation, because we know we get that after a 3CR. But we have got all of this accumulation that's gone on. So it's always worth looking at that too and saying, well, they've driven it down, pushed up, driven it down, and finally pushed up. So maybe a little bit of jiggery pokery. We're on the weekly chart here, and then maybe a continue to test to see whether we've got any more sellers here. So dollar looking sort of medium term quite strong. And that's just how I assess my charts. Not going to even bother with that one, it's not clear. Let's see if we can find a really clear one on the monthly. Again, this is pretty clear. Sorry, friends have come round with a dog. We're into supply there. Big candle, big candles. Remember, this is a monthly, so we could have some substantial pullback before it continues up again. These wicks are huge pullbacks going on here, and even that little one there. And you can see that pulled back. So, always be prepared and look at the longer term to see where you are in relation to all our normal charting methods, indicators and triggers. And when you do that, then if you imagine this is a 5-minute chart, which I do all the time, that doesn't look such a silly idea at all. So that's it. The point of this video was to give you some food for thought. We've got a long weekend, bank holiday here in the UK. It's the end of the week. It's the end of the month. And, you can sit there and plan a trade. And quite frankly, organising yourself, if you have a full-time job, to look at charts at the end of the week every week is not a bad habit to get into, in my opinion. So thanks for watching. Have a great weekend for the rest of it.